If you need comedy on a Monday, you have come to the right place. It looks like you and I are not the only ones that are sick and tired of Megan's dish soap story from when she was 11. Let's talk about what happened. Let's have a good laugh about it. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe.
It can really land and resonate and make huge change for a lot of people. So your voice is not small. It just needs to be heard.
Yeah, this is where we're this is one of the ways where we're different. When I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. So
okay, Brooke.
I wish I'd known you.
Where we're going here.
When I was 11.
A little different.
I would have been writing very different letters, but equally important, I hope.
Wow. 11-year-old Brooke and 11-year-old Meghan.
That was great. Am I right? This article came out today where Brooke actually talks about why she said that. I never realized that she actually made that comment. But let's get into it. The article is titled Brooke Shields brands Meghan too precious and serious as she recalls interrupting her in front of thousands of people. This is something that all of us want to do with Meghan. Just interrupt her, grab the mic from her. Don't let her have the mic, just like in this video. All right, so this article was just published and it begins. Brooke Shields has revealed she interrupted Meghan Markle live on stage in front of thousands of people because she says the Duchess of Sussex was being too precious in her speech about gender equality. The 60-year-old actress shared the anecdote on the latest episode of India Hicks' podcast. Brooke was discussing the International Women's Day panel in Austin, Texas, on March 2024, where she had been joined by Meghan on stage. When the discussion began and the former Suits star started answering Katie's opening question, Brooke said the tone quickly became overly serious. Katie asks the first question to Meghan and talks about how at a young age she was already advocating for women, etc., etc. Brooke explained. Meghan starts telling a story about how when she was 11, and she keeps saying, well, when I was 11, I saw this commercial and they were talking about washing dishes and only soap for washing dishes was for women. And she said, I didn't think only women wash dishes. It wasn't fair. So I wrote to the company. And when I was 11, I wrote my first letter. And when I was 11, and she kept saying she was 11. She wrote to the company. They changed the text. They changed the commercial. How many of us have said the same thing when I was 11, when I was 11, when I was 11? Looks like we're not the only ones that thought this. There are people that sit face to face with her and they're like, will you stop saying you were 11? Will you stop saying this ridiculous dish soap story that many people have found evidence that refutes the validity of it? And what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll read you a passage from Tom Bower's Revenge that talks about this dish soap story and its validity. The article continues, I go, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I've got to interrupt you there for 1 minute. I was trying not to be rude, but I wanted to be funny because it was so serious. I just want to give everybody here a context as to how we're different, Brooke told the audience. I said, well, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. The place went insane, and then luckily it was more relaxed after that. The comment was a reference to Brooke's breakout role as a child star in the controversial 1978 film Pretty Baby, in which she played a child. I'm not going to say that word because some words get flagged. A role that sparked debate at the time and has remained the subject of intense scrutiny in decades since. So in summary, this article is saying that Meghan gave a very serious rehearsed speech and Brooke was on stage with her and felt the tone was too intense. Brooke interrupts her and tries to make it a comedic moment. This wasn't a private comment. Brooke did it live on stage in front of thousands of people and even more on the replay. It's a rare, real world example of someone finally breaking through Megan's persona bubble. It's an unintentional roast. Brooke wasn't even trying to be shady, in my opinion. She just saw the need to inject reality and perspective. This is so devastatingly funny and revealing, in my opinion. So, what are some reasons that Brooke would do this? I have three reasons I believe that she would. The first is to break the tension. You know, when you're sitting with someone and they start talking and the vibe just shifts, like suddenly everything just feels too stiff and way too serious. And that's what was happening here. Megan, again, giving one of her polished speeches. Brooke, who's been doing this for decades, could feel it, so she jumped in with humor. And not just any humor, but something sharp and unexpected that made the room crack up. It reset the energy completely. People relaxed, and that's not accidental. That's someone reading the room and taking control back with one line. The second reason I think she did this is to reclaim the conversation from Megan's monologue. Let's be honest, Megan wasn't really in a conversation, she was giving a keynote. This is a story that she tells over and over again, and it's a performance. I think Brooke realized that this panel has now turned into the Meghan Markle show. So she interrupted, but she did it with humor, not hostility. She gave the audience and the other panelists a chance to breathe again. She shifted it from being a one woman lecture into something more grounded and more human. And the final reason I think she did this, and I don't know that she recognized that she did it at the time, but she subtly undercut Megan's persona. This is the part that really hits because Brooke didn't just interrupt, she flipped the narrative. Megan's story is all about early empowerment and moral clarity. It's neat, it's inspirational, it's packaged. It's a branded origin story, but Brooks responds, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. That's not a clapback, it's a reality check. It reminds everyone that not all girlhoods are glossy or empowering. Some are complicated, messy, and traumatic. And without directly calling Megan out, Brooke basically said, hey, not everyone gets to write their own heroic narrative at 11. Some of us were just surviving. It's brilliant, it's bold, and it's probably the first time in a long time someone publicly disrupted Megan's tightly controlled moment and got the whole room on her side. So, what are some things you can do if you're in a room with a narcissistic storyteller? Tip one, disrupt with humor, not hostility. Be the person who shifts the energy without starting a war. Humor is disarming. Brooke didn't attack Megan, she made the moment funny, which made the audience feel safe and seen. If someone's controlling the room with a scripted, self congratulatory story, a well timed joke can bring everyone back into reality without making you the villain. You can try saying, wow, are we auditioning for a memoir today? Or, when I was 11, I was still eating glue. Use your tone to reset the mood and not escalate it. Tip two, reclaim the space without competing. You don't have to one up the narcissist, just reroute the focus. Brooke didn't try to beat Megan's story, she contrasted it. When you feel like someone is hogging the spotlight with a hero narrative, you can gently say something like, that's such a powerful story. For me, those early years looked really different. Or, I love that you had that experience. Mine was a little more chaotic. The goal is to invite multiple truths into the room and not battle for the mic. Tip number three, use truth as a mirror. Nothing exposes a performative persona faster than real, raw truth. Brooks, I was playing a prostitute line wasn't just for shock value, it was her lived experience. When someone's telling a curated, Pinterest perfect story, your honest, messy, complex truth becomes a mirror they can't control. And the best part, you don't even have to call them out, the contrast does it for you. Tip four, trust the room's intelligence. Don't underestimate how much people feel inauthenticity. If someone's speech is too polished or precious, chances are everyone's already uncomfortable. They just don't know how to say it. You being the first to break that tension doesn't make you rude, it makes you a relief. And finally, tip number five, keep it classy but clear. Say it with a smile, but mean it. You can interrupt, redirect, or reclaim space without being cruel. Brooke started with, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I've got to interrupt you there for 1 minute." Then she dropped the realness. "That's your blueprint. Respectful interruption, followed by something true enough to stick." Just for fun, let's end this video with a couple of excerpts from Tom Bower's Revenge that talk about this entire story, but from someone outside of Meghan. In the mid 90s, TV advertisements stereotyped women, and in one particular dishwashing liquid commercial, the tagline said, "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans." And apparently, this infuriated Meghan. The passage begins, "Thomas Markle knew that thousands of American women were similarly annoyed. Many had sent protests to Procter & Gamble. With her father's encouragement, Meghan joined the bandwagon." She also wrote to Hillary Clinton, who was allegedly the first lady at the time. In the book, it continues and says, after she received no reply, Thomas wrote follow-up letters demanding that the corporation and Clinton acknowledge his daughter, and nothing happened. I'm going to stop there. I didn't notice that before, that Thomas also wrote to them demanding that they respond back. Things become a little bit more clear with time and knowledge, I guess. The book continues on and says, using his contacts, Thomas arranged for Linda Ellerby, a host on Nickelodeon, to report Meghan's protest at her school. Seeing herself interviewed on the broadcast TV film Report, accompanied by a reenactment clip of her writing to Clinton, naturally boosted Meghan's self-confidence. Some weeks later, Procter & Gamble bowed to the thousands of protests and changed the advertisement's strapline. And there is the story. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a small donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations. You'll find the link down in the description. Every little bit helps and it means a lot. Their contact info is also right now on the screen in the event that you need to contact them. If this video was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.